was about to
3
say.
years ago.
3 years ago
they stopped.
Oh.
They used to bring the dogs in.
Yeah, like they brought the dogs in, or like randomly, and you used to hate it because like some days you'll pull up to school and it'll be lines outside. You go, oh, because they'll have the metal detector that you have to go through, like randomly. Man, I got to sit out here and it's freezing cold. But it was just a different environment. Is it the same now? I don't know. I don't think the children. I don't think that we've done enough to alleviate a lot of the obstacles that are due to lack of resources in communities like that. Jaquarius, did I pronounce that right?
Yes, sir, you got it.
Cool.
What will it take to truly enable the have-nots with an equal access to quality education and quality health?
Dude, that's like my favorite, that's like a really good question, because I tell people all the time that the challenge of our generation is not black and white anymore. The challenges are the have versus have-nots. And how do we alleviate that? I mean, it's day by day, it's step. That's $1 million question. I mean, I'm figuring that out every day. I cannot answer that question right now. I don't know what it will take to truly enable that, but I'm working every day to try to figure that answer out, and that's what we do. We put it together day by day. We try to save rural hospitals. We try to make sure that poor kids get more funding and per pupil expenditures and things like that. So, yeah, that's a tough question. Marshall.
Right here. Now, why do you think Republicans refer to health care as Obamacare?
Because Affordable Health Care Act is too long for them to actually spell. No, it's all about branding. Politics is about is what you see, and the more you see it, and the more you hear it, it sticks. That drives me crazy because that's not the name of the bill, but it's an association thing, and it's all about politics is as much about the science of understanding people as it is about policy. And Obamacare is just something that's easy. You put it with a face, and then you can bastardize the face. And keeping our classes' interest in civil discourse. Cool. Catherine.
In keeping with their classes' interest in civil discourse, explain the merits of your teacher performance-based pay initiative, and then explain the most reasonable case that it critiques you to oppose it. I'm asking you to walk in their shoes.
I will tell you that my bill died. Okay? My performance pay bill, House Bill 3363, died about 3 weeks ago. And the reason I did it is because for the first time in a long time, I wanted public educators and teachers to be at the forefront of a discussion. Because for a long period of time, all we've been able to is we've been very reactive. We've always said no to things, but we've never had anything that we could shape or mold on our own. So that's the reason I sponsored it. And actually, it did not affect the teacher's salary, a base salary. What it did was it created a bonus structure. But nobody decided to read the bill, which drove me up a wall. And then the State Department sent out this email that just kind of just threw everything in. And just, there was a summary that wasn't really, I don't know what they summarized. But teachers have not been that civil in their discourse with me about this. But it's cool. I'm glad that, I would tell you this, there are 65,000 certified teachers in this state, and about 30,000 of them are not registered to vote. So we have to begin to engage our teachers. We have to begin to engage those that love public education. Merit-based teacher pay now will be decided in that white building by Mick Zace, and I'm afraid that he's already said that he's going to lock out SCEA and Palmetto teachers, but I'm afraid that teachers will not have the input that they should in the discussion. And all I was trying to do was give them a voice, but that strategy failed royally. But also, hold on one second. Back to merit-based teacher pay. Let's think about this like let's think about this policy. Okay, you fund schools in 3 ways: with state dollars, with federal dollars, and with the local tax base. Okay. You also pay teachers in that similar format. I come from Denmark, South Carolina, where we don't have a tax base. So the teachers who teach at Dutch Fork High School in Lexington, Lexington Regional 5, get paid more than teachers would get paid in Denmark, South Carolina. So unless we put some system in place whereby we kind of equalize it and give people some incentive, I'm not sure how I recruit teachers to Denmark, South Carolina. I'm not sure how I recruit a teacher or a kid who just graduated from USC Honors College to come to Denmark, South Carolina and teach at Denmark High School, when all we can start them off at is maybe $26,000 when he has student loans, but he can come to Dutch Fork and make $32,000. So there has to be some conversation about that.
And then what is the top pro and con of South Carolina's immigration bill?
It has no pros, and the con is that it's extremely expensive. The last time I checked, just the last time I checked, South Carolina has not been near the border, ever. Okay, anybody's border. And not unless we're worried about immigrants swimming into Myrtle Beach. I'm not quite sure what we can do. Okay, it's a federal issue. It really is. We're down. We don't have $800 million. I mean, we're firing teachers, and we're going to spend another $100 million on this immigration bill. They drive. I don't understand it. And then it's like, well, and I ask my colleagues this all the time. What does an illegal immigrant look like? I mean, how are you? What are you gonna? I mean, somebody's driving down the street. I mean, how do you know? I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, you look like an illegal immigrant. Pull out your papers or get in the van. I mean, how do you do that? It's impractical. It's expensive, and it's a wedge issue. So you guys have to learn about wedge issues. It's a lesson for another day. It's things that you can't really, like immigration, abortion, things, historical motion, that drive people apart. Lee Atwater, Carl Rose, all of them are very, very good at wedge issues. So, tackle. Andrew.
What issues need to be resolved in this legislative session before you feel it will be a successful session?
My unemployment rate, and me and my good friend Nikki Haley. Does anybody know where Nikki Haley's from? No.
I know.
Bamberg. Nikki Haley's from Bamberg. So me and Nikki, and I'm from Bamberg County. So me and Nikki have a interesting dialogue many times, and I use Bamberg as an example. But our unemployment rate is 10.5. It just dropped 0.4%. However, it's still higher than North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, which are our neighboring states, which I don't understand. So I think we need to do something to create economic development. You'll read a newspaper article this weekend that's coming out where me and my good colleague Boyd Brown have dropped a bill that's going to just I love doing this. I'm part of the caucus of civil disobedience. It's going to like completely just shake up the whole structure of the South Carolina political landscape, because we have dropped a bill to put a constitutional amendment, and don't tell anybody this because it doesn't come out until Monday. We don't put the bill until Monday, but the article comes out this weekend, to put a constitutional amendment on the ballot to legalize casino gambling.
Oh, that's good.
Brings in 40,000 jobs, creates about an extra $500 million in revenue a year.
Why not?
It makes me
Yeah, go to Greenville or Spartanburg and say, well, why not? Doesn't fly up there. I mean, we're in the Bible Belt. You know, it's going to be tough. My coastal Republican legislators are just going to have to make a decision.
I bet Robert Ford will help you.
Now, Robert Ford would help me.
My name is Sean, and how do you use social networks to promote your legislative agenda?
Facebook is a good friend of mine. I use it actually just to communicate. I mean, whatever I'm thinking, you all should follow, not only follow me on Twitter, but friend me on Facebook. And I use it just to let people know what I'm doing, where I'm going, to talk to people. This morning as I was pulling in, a teacher said, we set up a tour and my third graders want to know if you're going to be there. So I called her back and was like, yeah, I'll be there. So it's just it's another way to communicate. It's an efficient way to communicate, and people can kind of see where you go. And I like that. Whenever I get invited to the White House, usually I can't take anybody with me, so I like to